I'm going to begin by asking about that dance scene.
Oh, right, yeah, that dance scene.
Because I actually had to watch it twice. So when that scene finished, I had to just rewind and just watch it all over again. I mean, you've got some moves. How was that to shoot, that scene?
Yeah, we talked about that, right?
We did.
The moves.
The moves, there's a scene in a Akira Kurosawa movie called Drunken Angel, where Toshiro Mifune, who's a gangster character, goes to this nightclub and does this amazing dance, and he does these crazy moves.
Yes.
And so we looked at that and goes, how can we bring this into the time period of our film, which is the 80s? And Riley is, a very good dancer as well. Naoki is a trained dancer. So we said, we're going to make this a special moment in the film. So they really dance like crazy. And then, of course, Alicia's character comes up and she can't dance. That's the tragedy of it. It breaks your heart, And then we used a Yoko Ono song, Walking on Thin Ice, which typifies, I think, this sort of feel of the mid-80s, a Japanese woman singing this amazing song.
Yeah, it felt iconic, that scene. It really did. What was it? What attracted you to telling this story?
Well, the initial point of interest came from the book itself by Susanna Jones. She's a brilliant writer, and I was immediately drawn into the dense psychological text of the book. And I thought, wow, this could be a Tokyo noir. It has all the elements to a character who's escaping from the past, who has certain influences around them that is drawing them into a very dangerous situation in their future.
Because I've seen it described as a psychosexual thriller, which is quite a sort of subgenre that I haven't explored properly yet. But is that, I'm just wondering, is there a type of movie? It felt quite some for the 80s that you were kind of really inspired you when you were making it?
Well, I was inspired by many things. I was inspired by classic noir, like Out of the Past, the Jacques Tourneur movie. I was inspired by Alfred Hitchcock in some of the suspense sequences. I was inspired by Persona, by Ingmar Bergman, in some of the psychological aspects of the story. And I was inspired by Kiyoshi Kurosawa's movie The Cure, which is a 90s Japanese noir police procedural that also has some non-rational, like supernatural elements in it. So all those films kind of were things I was watching while I was writing it.
What was it that really attracted you to the project? What made you want to get involved?
Yeah, this is my first English-speaking role, and this film connect Japanese culture and custom, so I'm so honored. So we talked a lot about the character, for how do we connect the Japanese custom and culture, and it also So photography, that's to know my character. That way is so important. So I learned all of that processing, developing, the printing. So that way, that journey is to get the character. So all of journey. So it made me so happy.
And I mean, let's just a quick word on Alicia. I mean, she's an exceptional actress, and I've interviewed her a few times, and she's an incredibly nice person. She's just pretty much got everything.
Yeah.
What was she like to collaborate with for both of you on this project?
Alicia was the most incredible collaborator on this project. When I was casting Lucy Flight, I'm like, who is out there who's going to learn the cello, who's going to learn Japanese, who's going to fully commit? And I thought, Alicia Vikander, everything she does is at this super high standard of excellence. So I knew she would be up for the challenge. What I wasn't prepared for is what a lovely person she is, and what a generous collaborator she was with her fellow actors, and how much complexity and nuance she brought to every single moment in the scenes.
Yeah. What was it like acting alongside her?
Yeah, so I learned a lot from her. So once camera gets rolling, she flips her switch, and she's in the character. So it inspired me as an actor, and like that scene. So that was so intense, but we could connect each other. So that was beautiful moments.
Because across your career, I mean, you often delve into female protagonists. What is it? Just wondering about that interest for you to have quite female central roles and characters that are really about their mind as well.
This is the third film in a row I've made with a female protagonist, with Still Alice, Colette, and then Earthquake Bird, and they form a kind of trilogy in my mind. They're all very different genres, but there's some underlying themes, and perhaps growing up as a gay man, and having things to break through in my own life, to be myself. I identify with a lot of things women have to go through in society, breaking through against traditional constraints that are put around their lives. So I think perhaps that's where that connection comes from.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time, guys.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you
Thanks so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey, you guys!